CNBC reports that restaurants and bars are reviving recession specials, a throwback to the Great Recession. From $6 gelato and espresso deals at Brooklyn's Clever Blend to San Francisco's Recession Combo Burger, businesses are embracing economic anxiety as both marketing and relief for customers. The University of Michigan's latest data shows consumer sentiment slipping to 58.6, down from July's 61.7. Joanne Hsu, who directs the survey, said Americans are bracing for a slowdown and expecting weaker labor markets and higher unemployment. But recession chatter has a checkered record. In both 2023 and 2024, major outlets and top economists loudly predicted downturns that never came. Yet the idea struck, shaping consumer perceptions. And Robert Kiyosaki, for example, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has been predicting recessions for decades, almost always incorrectly. So while economic data may not show a crisis, perception itself is powerful, as Hsu notes. People agree that the trajectory of the economy has soured. Okay, what's the real message here? Be very, very careful when you hear someone, especially if it's a guy in a suit, maybe with a tie, predicting a recession, because most of the time they are wrong. Nobody knows the future. I don't know the future. Will there be a recession in the future? Yes, there will. But will it be today, next month, 6 months from now, a year from now, or 7 years from now? I don't know. And without knowing the exact date, the prediction is 100% worthless. Okay, let's go a little deeper here. Nobody knows the future, but I can predict some things with absolute certainty. In the next week, you're going to see a handful of people who are rich, who are successful, who have been successful in other fields, who maybe sometimes have a great track record as investment managers, predict that we are headed right into a recession in the next 6 months. They're going to get a lot of media coverage, and some people are going to panic, and some people are going to sell, and they're going to end up losing money. Perhaps. Now, it may be that they're right. Some predictions of recession are correct, but most aren't. And those that are correct, it's quite often luck. This is not a personal finance show. I'm not here to tell you how to get rich. I'm certainly not here to tell you, buy this, sell this now. Here's the exact time when there is going to be a recession. But what I do know confidently is how people communicate scary ideas. It's scary to think we are in a recession. It's very scary. If you literally did know when a recession is going to happen, it would make perfect logical sense to sell a lot of stocks, switch to bonds, short stocks. It would make all sorts of sense to do things immediately. But here's the thing, nobody really knows. I'm especially incensed by the Bloomberg survey, nothing against the Bloomberg organization, but they surveyed major economists. 100% of them predicted for late 2023 that the United States would be in a recession. We did not end up in a recession. How many of them said, oops, I was wrong? Virtually none of them. Nothing suggests sort of the seriousness of an investor, a pundit, an economist than to say, we are headed to a recession, tough times are coming. You sound serious. You get booked on major business shows like CNBC and Bloomberg TV and Fox Business and CNN. And if you did make a prediction once and you got it right, like Dr. Doom, Nouriel Roubini, then the chance is you continue making extreme outlier predictions the rest of your career and you're always wrong. Even the guy who got the Great Recession right and what happened in all the mortgages, who made a lot of money from that, he's mostly been wrong ever since. So you've got to be extraordinarily wary anytime someone says, I know the future. And let's face it, when someone is predicting a recession, that is what they're doing. They're saying, I have a crystal ball. I am a god, essentially. I'm a deity. And you have to ask yourself, if someone really could see the future, they wouldn't be a millionaire. They wouldn't be a centimillionaire. They wouldn't be a billionaire. They'd be a multi-trillionaire. And so far, Elon Musk isn't quite there yet. Nobody in the world is a trillionaire, which to me, I logically deduce that means nobody really knows the future. So be extraordinarily careful when you hear these predictions. I don't mean to blast Bloomberg. The Wall Street Journal survey of economists 2023, almost everyone thought we were headed towards a major downturn or recession. Wrong. The IMF, the World Bank 2023, huge warnings about a recession. Wrong. And this is a bipartisan thing. Well-known Democrat Larry Summers, former Secretary of the Treasury, he suggested a few years ago there was no way we were getting out of the pandemic without massive unemployment, massive pain to our economy. Wrong, completely wrong. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley also predicted major contraction in the 2022 to 24 range. Did not happen. Now, am I saying the business cycle is over and we're just going to have expansion from here on out? No, if I made that prediction, you could carefully label me a fool. You could say, click, don't need to watch that guy anymore, but that is not what I'm saying at all. I do not in any way think that the normal business cycle of contraction, expansion, recession, occasional depression is going to change. But I also think the normal pattern of nobody really knowing when it happens until you're already there is going to continue. Now, let's take by the way, Moody's got this wrong as well. They called for a 2023 recession, did not happen. My favorite all-time biggest idiot when it comes to making economic predictions happens to be Robert Kiyosaki. He also, whether you want to say coincidentally or not, is the all-time best-selling author of a book on personal finance, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But he has been making these predictions almost like clockwork every year for like 15 years that this is the year to get out of stocks, and you've got to buy gold or Bitcoin or real estate. And he's been wrong almost every time. Now, I should point out, if you make a prediction every single year for 20 years that a recession is coming next year, at some point you'll be right. But why should anyone place stock in your analysis if you're wrong most of the time? You shouldn't get any credit for occasionally being right. If you just say, TJ, I've got a clock here, you can't see it. What does the time say? And I just keep making predictions all day long. Yeah, I'll occasionally get it right. Does that mean I'm a seer? Does that mean I'm a prophet? No. So what are some of the communications issues with human beings that make us susceptible to this? There's the availability bias. People are always thinking, oh, this is just like this recession condition from the Great Recession. Or many economists, Lawrence Summers has been accused of this. They think back to their childhood in the 70s, that, yeah, we had stagflation. We couldn't get through it without massive unemployment and massively high inflation, because today is just like that. So people think about what the most recent crisis was. There's the confirmation bias. You're looking for someone to tell you what you want to hear. So quite often in any political culture, but here in the United States in particular, if there's a politician in office and you don't like him and you think his policies or her policies are really awful, then quite often you're very open to the idea that, well, of course, with this idiot in office, of course we're going to have a recession. So there's the confirmation bias. There's the negativity bias. If you have 100 economists and 99 say, you know what, the economy seems like it's humming along okay, I'm not predicting huge growth or huge declines or huge recession. It's going to be more or less the same the next 6 months. If you have 99 economists say that, and one of them says, oh my God, it's a recession, it's a depression that's going to make the Great Recession in 2008 seem like a party time, guess who's going to get all the headlines? Guess who's going to get booked on all the major talk shows in the financial press? It's not the 99 people saying our models show things kind of continuing as they are. It's going to be the person saying the end is near. So you've got to really filter that in. Now, the other bias that's going on is the social narrative bias. We see this with restaurants posting, oh, come get your recession burger. It's just a way to try to glom onto something that is a narrative in the culture to make a quick buck. So that's really my warning to you, is if you want to be more successful in life with your own personal investment decisions and how you invest your company's resources, you've got to learn to filter this out and to realize when people are preaching gloom and doom, quite often they have a financial incentive or they have a media attention incentive to do that. They're trying to get free publicity to get a spotlight on whatever it is they do, whether they're selling burgers, whether they are selling gold, whatever it is they're selling, they're trying to trick you to get you to panic sometimes. And that is not in your benefit at all. So please be wary of this negativity bias. Anytime someone is predicting a recession, ask yourself, okay, so is this person a trillionaire? If not, they could be a billionaire, still get it wrong. Even Warren Buffett and many others have made predictions, and good investors in general, but they don't really know the future. Guess what? I don't either. The difference is I won't pretend to tell you that I know the future.